Hello everyone, welcome to Something Delicious with me, Geeta. Today we're going to be making Indian snacks. I want to make Indian snacks easy and quick by showing you some of the shortcuts that I take to make this delicious Indian street food called Bhel Puri. We're going to start off with this mix called Bombay Bhel mix. You could get this online. It's a 12-ounce package. Other ingredients that you need to make this Bhel Puri is 4 medium-sized Yukon Gold potatoes peeled and cut into cubes, 1 pomegranate shelled, 1 cup of finely chopped red onion, a half a cup of finely chopped cilantro. We also have all these different sauces. We have this sauce from Laxmi brand called sweet Bhel chutney, mint chutney, and this is coriander chutney. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to take these store-bought sauces and make it work for you at home. First, we're going to start off with boiling the potatoes. I took the cubed potatoes and I drained it, and now I'm going to add it to hot water and put a lid, not fully covered because I don't want it to spill over. So we're going to let this cook till it's fork tender. While those potatoes are boiling, we're going to take the chutneys that I bought from the Indian grocery store, and you could thin this down. So we're going to start off with the sweet Bhel chutney, and this is mostly made up of tamarind paste, sugar, salt, and a few other spices like cumin powder and coriander powder. But I'm going to take this sauce, which is quite thick, and I want it to be a little bit thinner. And to that I'm adding 5 to 6 ounces of water. And I'm going to add it right inside the jar so I get every last bit. And you want to now take this chutney and mix it well. If you like that thicker chutney, like how it comes in the bottle, you could go ahead and just use it just the way it is in the bottle. But I find it to be a little too thick, so I kind of thin it down with this, and this actually makes it last longer too. And you still retain the taste. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the mint chutney. Shake it well, stir that really well. The coriander chutney. Okay, so now we'll just wait for those potatoes to boil, and I'll show you the next step. So when you boil the potatoes in hot water, it literally takes less than 10 minutes for it to be fork tender. So now I'm going to strain it, and I want it to get cool right away. Bowl here with half of it filled with ice. I'm going to add some water to it and add the potatoes right to it. And this will stop those potatoes from cooking. I'm going to wait a few minutes, and then I'm going to strain the whole thing, and I'll show you the next step with the potatoes. Okay, now I've drained the cooled potatoes. I'm going to spread it out on this paper towel, but I just want to get some of the moisture out. Okay, so now to these cooled potatoes, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of something called amchur powder. And amchur powder is dried green mango powder. This is a critical piece for this whole dish because it gives it that sour umami taste. And then a half a teaspoon of something called chaat powder. Chaat literally means lick in Hindi, but it's like finger licking good. That's why they call it chaat. But chaat powder is made up of the mango powder, and it has other flavors in there too, like black salt, cumin, asafoetida, coriander powder. So now I'm going to add this, stir it well. The black salt in the chaat masala has a very pungent odor, but trust me, when you eat it, it tastes absolutely delicious. You could definitely add a half a teaspoon of cayenne powder to this, and you could also have some chopped fresh green chilies. So now we're going to assemble the Bhel Puri. The only thing with Bhel is once you mix it, you have to serve it because all of the sauces are wet, and it has to be eaten so that you can taste the sauce but also have the crispiness of what's inside here, which, by the way, I did not mention. What's inside here is crisp rice puffs, and then there's something called save, which is fried chickpea flour dough that's put through a press, and it's like thin noodles. and their seasoning over here, it tastes absolutely delicious. So I don't have like 6 people that I'm gonna feed right now, so I'm gonna only make 1 portion just to show you. In the description, in the recipe, I go over exactly how to make the whole bag. I have a mixing bowl over here. I'm gonna serve it in this bowl, but to mix it, I'm just gonna add about a cup. I'm going to add like 1 teaspoon of chopped onion, 1.5 teaspoon of the pepper, the Bhel chutney, coriander chutney, mint chutney. I'm gonna add a pinch of that chaat masala powder that was added to the potatoes. This is a little bit extra. And then a little pinch dried mango powder. I'm gonna mix all of this up really well. Just a gentle mix. We pour it into the serving dish, and then you add some pomegranate seeds, which gives it that sweet and sour flavor, and then it also has the crunch factor, and a few little cilantro leaves. And here it is, it comes together that quickly. This is a bowl of delicious Bhel Puri. This is an iconic Indian street food that once you have 1 bowl, you want to really pretty much eat the whole bag. Enjoy. Now we're going to make our second snack food, Indian snack food that's very popular in India, and it's called nylon Khaman Dhokla. Years ago, I used to make this homemade, but now I found this mix and it saves me so much time and it tastes absolutely delicious. Before we get started making this dish, I'm going to show you how to create your own little steam bowl, because this dish gets steamed before we add all the toppings to it. To create your own steamer to make this dhokla, I have a 9-inch cake pan over here. This is what I'm going to put the batter in, and I'm going to put the batter and put it on top of that bowl and then put this lid on. That's how you're going to steam the dhokla. So make sure you have a pan that's wide enough to do that. I'm going to take and pour 16 ounces of water into this. And first I'm going to pour some in the bowl, and then I'm going to pour the rest of this water all around the bowl. I'm going to add another 8 ounces or so, and that looks good. So now I'm going to just put the lid on this and turn it on so it's nice and warm. To get us started, we're going to take this pan, and I have this little spray bottle here with corn oil, and I'm going to just spread this oil all around. So a couple of things about this batter. Once you mix this, you need to steam it right away. And when you're mixing it, you want to be really careful that you don't overmix. You want to get it moist so that there's no lumps. But if you overmix, you're going to just break up all of that rising action. To make 1 pan, you need 2 cups of flour, which is about half the packet. So I have like a 2.5 quart mixing bowl here. I'm going to add like half of this mix. I'm just going to take my spatula and kind of break up any lumps. Okay, so now to this mixture, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. I use corn oil. And now I have 10 ounces of cold water. And now I'm going to take this batter and gently stir. I don't know if you could see the bubbles all forming. That's the citric acid doing its magic. That's what's going to make this dough rise. Pour the batter into this pan. So now you can see that the water is boiling away over here. And what I'm going to do is take the pan and put it right above the bowl here, and then put the lid back on. I'm going to set the stove at like a medium heat, and I'm going to set the timer for like 15 minutes, and I'm going to check. But whatever you do, don't take the lid off unless you notice that there's not enough water there. And you know what? Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to just add a little bit more water. So because I added a little bit more water, so that needs to come to a boil too, I'm going to set my timer to about 16 to 17 minutes. I'm shutting the stove off and removing the lid, and you're going to see how nicely this has risen. I'm going to let this cool for about 10 to 15 minutes before I do the topping. Now the dhokla has cooled, so I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of shredded coconut, and I buy the frozen coconut and I just let it thaw. or you could put it in the microwave for like 15 seconds so you could then easily spread it. And you're gonna add this, sprinkle it all over the top of the dhokla. Then you're gonna take your chopped cilantro, sprinkle it on top of the dhokla. Okay, now we're gonna temper the spices to put on top of the dhokla. So for this, you wanna get like a small 8-inch frying pan, and to that you're going to add 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 3 tablespoons of sesame seeds. This is white sesame seeds, and this might seem like a lot, but trust me, it's not. And I'm just going to lower the flame a little bit, and you can start to see that the sesame seeds are turning brown. 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds, and you want to wait for the mustard seeds to start to pop. As you can see, it's starting to sizzle, and now I hear the popping. So I'm going to add the asafoetida, stir it around. Then I'm going to add the green chilies. And now the final thing is the curry leaves, and I put a lid on this and shut the stove off because as you saw, it starts to sputter really quickly. So now we're ready to spread this on top of the dhokla. You're going to just take this and sprinkle it all over, and then you're going to take the back of your spoon and spread this mixture everywhere. I tend to add more sesame seeds and mustard seeds than most people do, but it's really the topping that's what gives it the flavor. Now we're going to cut this up. I generally make like a grid, and let me take out one piece here, serve it in a bowl. And here's. You could serve the dhokla by itself, or you could serve it with the chutneys that we had for the Bhel Puri, the sweet tamarind chutney, the coriander chutney, or the mint chutney. Enjoy! Thank you for watching this episode of Something Delicious with Geeta. Let me know if you enjoy Indian street foods. Love to show you more recipes. If you like this video, please hit the like button and hit subscribe. If you like these dishes, please let me know in the comments section if you'd like to learn other Indian dishes or Indian street foods. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy!